If you want to become a hostess with the mostess, this is a great place to start.
Like it could really spark something new in you and inspire you to do more.
What's our little blurb intro gonna be? Because we always just start talking about something.
We usually do. Well, do you have a drink for today? We usually start off with our drink.
My drink is water.
Okay, you're being very good.
I'm being very good.
Tried being festive and I made a dirty chai. And I'm trying out this what is it called? Gingerbread creamer from Trader Joe's.
I'm a little jealous now.
I'm just gonna say I'm a professional. Okay.
I did get some gingerbread syrup, and I have been enjoying my gingerbread lattes because 'tis the season.
Absolutely.
In the season. Following up on our last episode, it is gingerbread latte season now, y'all. Get excited.
Yeah, I saw you post the syrup. And is that the brand that you usually use when you're making your drinks?
I usually make my own syrup. I don't usually buy coffee syrup. She's so sick of me.
All right. Look, I had to look away because I'm like, of course she makes her own syrup.
It's pretty easy to make.
Let me be quiet.
I was looking up recipes for gingerbread syrup and it is a little more complicated. But the 1883 brand is what they use in Whole Foods. Like, you remember when the cookie butter latte was going viral from Whole Foods?
Yes.
That is the brand of syrup, though I think you would mix the pumpkin and the caramel to get the cookie butter. Giving away the secrets. Oh, sorry, Whole Foods.
Oh, Whole Foods, she's spilling.
It's all on the table now. But the gingerbread syrup is delicious. I would give that 10 out of 10. I
have tried the lavender syrup from that brand before. And I like putting lavender syrup in my tea and in my matcha as well. But I'm gonna have to venture into more flavors because the other brand, the Torani, I believe that's what it's called, is very sweet.
I'm not a fan.
Incredibly sweet. So I'm gonna have to switch it up. Okay, I'm gonna have to try that one now.
Yeah, I asked for a couple of the other flavors for Christmas, so we'll see if Santa puts them under the tree.
Oh, Santa! Is Santa listening? We'll see.
I also sent my husband a reel last night that it really made me laugh. It was a woman looking looking at the camera, very judging. And she was like, why are so many people acting this way when they know Santa's coming to town? Oh, he's still watching.
He is still watching. He's been watching you all year. Don't start acting up now. He's gonna check that thing twice. Okay.
We're almost at the finish line.
Yeah. Keep it up. Keep up the good. You're gonna get some cold if you don't start acting right.
Speaking of this episode, welcome to the Plan With Us pod, everybody.
Hi.
Episode 5. 5, right? 5.
Yes.
We're back.
Yes. We're into it.
This episode, we are sort of building on our previous episode, which was all about self-care over the holiday season, dealing with some heavier topics. But, in us fashion, we try to keep it light. This episode, if you're looking for something just for easy listening, all fluff, but also, some content, also some substance, we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics, which is all things hosting.
Whoops. And Jess is a hostess with the mostest, you guys.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. I've started getting into my hosting era, like this year a little bit and last year a little, but we're going to dive in and talk about what goes behind the scenes of us planning our gatherings, whether it's a party, whether it's a brunch, whether it's an activity, a workshop, like just being great hosts and what that means. So let's get into it, girl.
Yes, this does not need to be holiday specific if you're listening to this a time outside of the holidays. Um, we're just going to talk about some of our, the secrets, the tricks that we pull out of our sleeve when it comes to planning and hosting an event. If you want to become a hostess with the mostess, this is a great place to start.
Yes. All right. Did you grow up with a lot of gatherings in your home?
I did. My mom really likes to host. Um, the one event that really stands out to me, which is very appropriate for this season, is my family would always throw a Christmas Eve gathering. And maybe that's the event that sticks out in my mind because that's also when we would celebrate my birthday. My birthday is the day before Christmas Eve, in case anyone is wondering. Um, but that would like really be the biggest party that I think they would throw every year, where it'd be like my grandparents, aunts and uncles, cousins, everyone comes down to the farm because I was also raised on a chicken farm. And, we'd have a spread of food, we'd have the Christmas movies playing. It wasn't anything like super fancy, it was very homey. But I think that's where my love of hosting sort of started, creating that cozy environment that really just brings everyone together. And then I know your family did a lot of hosting because I've been to the Christmas party.
Girl. Yes, I get my hosting bug from my mother as well, who loves to host. Hosting might be one of the biggest parts of her personality, if I'm being for real. During the holidays in the right household, we would host 4 parties in December because we did one a week.
That is intense.
It's intense, but they all had themes. They all were about bringing in the season, bringing people together, because not everybody can come to each gathering.
Mm-hmm.
And my family just makes a big, really celebrates Christmas to make it an experience for everybody, because it's the time of year where, they want to make sure that everybody is included, everybody has something to go to, things like that. So my mom decorated the house to the nines. The first week would be the reason for the season party, is what she called it.
Oh my gosh. So each one had like a specific name and they were the same
Drew.
every year?
Yes, Drew. Yes. And that was for
a whole
years.
Other level.
That was like 10, 12 years of my life of that, where the reason of the season party is when she would invite people over and then we would all meet up at this church that did this big, like, Jesus play. That's the best way for me to describe it.
Like a live nativity?
Yes, okay. The whole thing. A live nativity where you walk through scenes and there's hot chocolate and cookies, and then she'd bring everybody back to the house and just have desserts. It was like a dessert night because it'd be late. So the reason for the season party. Then she would have like some kind of party that would be an activity. So like ornament making or a cookie swap or something like that would be the following week. Then the week after that would be like a brunch or something where she'd invite people over for primarily breakfast and do like a little friend gift exchange during that time. And then the last week, which would either be Christmas Eve or the weekend prior, depending on people's availability, would be our open house, our holiday open house. And that was the big party. The doors open all day. My mom's whipping up food in the kitchen all day. One year she hired a personal chef for the whole day. She has favors at the door so people can come pick up a little gift. Like,
Martha Stewart level. Like,
it was insane. It was crazy. Photo opportunities with the different trees, the gazebo's done up. That's where I come from. That's the asylum that raised me.
Hey, I respect it. I love a cozy gathering. I love a lavish event. I love everything in between. I love a reason just to, have some good food, sip a fun little drink, talk to people, maybe people we haven't seen for a while. Like, I just love the camaraderie. I'm a homey, cozy gal, but when it comes to like more intimate gatherings like that, that's like my speed. So maybe that's why I love creating that environment so much.
Yeah. And I do think that I love creating an experience. I like people to leave feeling like they just experienced something and want more, which I think I tried to recreate the kind of experience kind of feeling when we had our event in January.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like just the feeling of people feeling something like new, like waking inside of them at an event.
Yes.
Yes, it brings people together. Yes, it's cozy. Yes, we're getting to know each other. But how did it like make you feel? And I feel like when I do an event, those are the things I kind of focus on.
Which we are coming up on almost 1 year since we threw that event, which I will say that event was an experience. I
Right.
loved that event. It was so much fun. And I think everyone who attended can attest to how much they loved it. It's sort of what spurred this whole podcast into happening. So I guess we should get into the step one.
Mm-hmm.
Start at the very beginning. A very good place to start. I'm talking about the Sound of Music here. I don't know what's happening.
When you
So,
read, you begin with
hey,
yeah, yeah.
thank
Y'all
you.
didn't know I knew that. Y'all didn't know I knew that one.
She's pulling those facts out, those references. You know, Wicked's coming out. I got musicals on the brain. It's fine.
Oh yeah, yes, absolutely.
All right,
But yes,
so we're sort
step
of
one.
covering the why of we're bringing the people together, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's to curate the experience, whether it's to get people together that you haven't seen in a while, to have that cozy feeling. And we have to think about a couple of different elements, such as we have a couple written down here. What is
Mm-hmm.
the occasion?
Mm-hmm.
What's the holiday? The occasions to host for. It doesn't just have to be Christmas, like we said. We
Mm-hmm.
referenced our other New Year's gathering. Have you hosted anything for like any other holiday other than Christmas? Because I know that's the big one.
Yes, Christmas is the big one. Um, but my family has done a New Year's brunch where the New Year's Day, when everything's closed and people don't go to work and like things like that, that's also a day for people to slowly come in and just have yummy foods and be lazy and watch football and like things like watch sports and things like that. I've hosted things for Valentine's Day or Galentine's Day
Oh, right.
specifically.
We had the
Mm-hmm.
Galentine's Day brunch.
Yes, I think it's very important to celebrate your friends during the month of love. Um, so I did plan a little Galentine's brunch where we went to Cafe Lift with the other girly pops, and I made sure that they were like little gifts and favors. I love a little.
Yeah, the gift bags were so cute. I think that's another good note is that when you're hosting, it doesn't necessarily have to be at your house.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Um, Finding a venue, finding a cute place, and even that's just a reason to bring people together. And it wasn't necessarily even like the focus of it wasn't necessarily Valentine's Day or Galentine's Day because it wasn't on any of those particular days. But I did just want to take some time to bring together girlfriends who I honestly some I haven't seen in a while or haven't brought all together, and just wanted all of us to come together and enjoy a good meal.
Absolutely.
Um, yeah, so
That's the
oh,
tip I would say if it intimidates you to have a bunch of people in your space or you have a small space but you really want to entertain. Um, Look into, some different environments that you could bring people together in. You could do
yeah,
exactly like Niara said, have little goodie bags for everyone. It doesn't have to be a big hullabaloo. You don't have to like rent out the space either. I think you made a reservation because our group was quite small, but we had an awesome time. It
yeah,
felt
we had so
very,
much fun.
Mhm.
And you have done your Halloween parties and stuff
Yes.
like that. Yeah, because I know that's like a yearly. Didn't do it this year because you were away,
We
but
did not do the Halloween party this year because we were in Disney World. Oh my
mhm.
gosh, so tough. But it will be making a return. I've already had some people ask about the Halloween party. It is coming back. Yeah, we that's just a pure fun event. Like just to get together and dress up and see friends and some friends that come we only get to see them like once or twice a year. And just creating like a spooky environment that really the whole theme is the costumes, the food, and the company. And we just sort of like let everyone take over our house, and it's always very, very chaotic and fun. And then last year, I also threw a New Year's Eve party that was also my 30th birthday party, which was the most like upscale party that me and my husband have ever thrown. It was his idea to make like a very fancy cocktail party just like in our little townhome, which like is very humble, very cozy and cute, but like it's not like this lavish event space. But we treated it as such. Like we got the
Yeah.
event catered. I got like one of those cocktail trees and I had like a champagne tower. I told everyone to dress in like black tie and people really came through with the dress code. Okay. I love having people who will go with the theme. That like makes or breaks the party, in my opinion.
I agree.
Um, and we've been talking about doing some sort of maybe like a New Year's Day, similar to like what you were describing. Maybe this year. We'll see. If we do that, we do need to start planning that immediately.
Yes.
But I'm trying to think if there's any other holidays that we've hosted for. My mom will also just do like smaller get-togethers around Easter. We usually do something around St. Patrick's Day because my dad's birthday is on to St. Patrick's Day. 4th of July, they usually have like a little barbecue and they'll set off fireworks. But yeah, I don't think I've really hosted anything outside of the fall winter season. It's just a wonderful time to get together.
Oh yeah, especially with sometimes the gloominess and the darkness, and it gives people something to look forward to. Again, like you talk about the camaraderie, the intimacy, the coziness, like creating those like almost third places for people to be able to go and also step away from work, maybe step away from family, whatever it is, and see a good friend. Like I feel like you are really great at creating those types of environment. Is there anything that you have ever wanted to celebrate, or maybe something you've wanted to host that isn't necessarily attached to a holiday?
Ooh. Hmm. I mean, I always wanted when I had my small business to do a trunk show, which we did. We got to do that in collaboration with our girl Sophia, Scolora the Label. She still has her small business, so check out Scolora the Label. Got to
Check it
shout her out
out.
all the time. Um, even though that was also sort of associated with Christmas, I was debating doing like other trunk shows at like my house in like the spring or summer, making it more like a picnic theme or and that's even something that you could do without a trunk show element, just sort of like having friends get together when the weather's nice and like having a really nice backyard picnic. I think I'd still really like to do that. I've also always wanted to get a group of friends together and go to like a beach house or something, though that requires a lot more planning, sort of more like an open house, like maybe me and my husband go like rent a beach house and then we say like whoever wants to come, we're going to have a barbecue sort of situation.
Mm.
But there's a lot of like technicalities in renting a place and do they allow you to have parties and things like that. That is also a more of a pricey dream. So maybe not right now, but maybe in the future. But yeah, those are some like events that aren't so holiday based, more just like seasonally based. What
Right.
about you? Do you have any ideas?
I think I've always wanted to host something in the spring that is really just about like blooming and springtime and basically the start of a new season. Um, I remember when I worked at one of my old jobs where I worked at a co-working space and I would put on this women's panel during Women's Month every March, and it was a great way to just like embark on to the springtime. And yes, it was still basically around a holiday because it was Women's Day, Women's Month, and there was a theme. But it really was just about a time for new beginnings and opening up your mind and networking and meeting new people and things like that. I think I would love to do something in the summer as like, I don't know, maybe like an activity where we're like making bracelets or using charms, or like I want it like something that brings you back to your childhood almost. But summer is really makes me think of being a child and being a kid again sometimes. And I think that as an adult, we lose that because we work so much now. And I feel like hosting an event during the summer that's just about bringing back childlike wonder would be really fun.
Like a summer vacation type of schools out for summer type of vibe. I can
Yes,
see that.
but for adults. Yeah.
But for adults,
Yes. Yes.
let's just forget about all responsibilities and make some crafts and
Have some
enjoy.
like blow up little pools or sprinklers and like run through the sprinkler, like fun. I would love to do something like that where it just opens up people and lets you be carefree. I think that's something I would love to plan one day.
Yeah.
I probably need a house for that, but probably having a whole backyard or something like that would be really nice for something like that.
We got time.
Like a field day?
Like a field day. Oh my
For
gosh. Or
adults?
I know I've seen like camp become like a theme for people's like bachelorette parties or bachelor parties or like even whole weddings centered around like people renting out like camps that like you would go to when you were a kid.
Yes.
I love that.
Honestly, Camp Plan With Us, Camp PWU would be such a cute party over the summer.
I'm actually dead. That is adorable. We need this to happen,
Oh my
guys.
gosh.
So keep supporting us so we can make
I do think that a big part of this podcast and this community that we are bringing together is that we do want to bring people together in real life as well, which is why we did the event last January and why we want to do more. So, yes, supporting us and like keeping along with this journey will allow us to create these third spaces so people can come together. And I think that that would be amazing. So,
we have a vision, y'all. It's going to happen. But I think in general, both of us sort of touched on the theme of like spring and blossoming and blooming. And I think we need to celebrate that time of year a little bit more. I think you need to celebrate all year round.
I agree. Why don't we really have something to celebrate like in the spring like that? Yes, there's Easter, but I think it's very specific to certain people. I think that you just need to like just celebrate the time. Like we're alive, we're happy, we're coming together. Like, let's just bring each other together. I think the spring is just like missing something.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
As the world and like the flowers and the trees and things come back alive, me leaving my seasonal depression, just ready to party.
Yes, exactly.
Hi guys, it is Jess checking in mid-episode. Hope you've been enjoying. I know we're having an awesome time just chatting away. Now would be a really great time to take a break, get a drink of water, and follow us on all of our Plan With Us Pod social media platforms. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time a new episode comes out. We also post a ton of content over on our Instagram, and we'll always let you know when new episodes come out over there. And you can find our favorite clips from all of our episodes over on TikTok, which is always a fun time. You can find us on all platforms at Plan With Us Pod. Leaving a review on your favorite podcast listening platform is also a huge, huge way to help us grow our community. So we appreciate every single review that is left, and we appreciate every single one of you. So without further ado, let's get back into the episode.
Once you've picked your occasion and, once you figured out what it is that you're celebrating or why you're bringing people together, how do you start prepping for people to come? We have on here, save the date, picking the perfect date, RSVPs, or, whoever shows up, or having themes. I think we touched on that a little bit.
Yes. Do you mean like RSVPs, yays or nays? As in like, do you have an RSVP or do you just say, this is what's happening, show up?
Yeah, I guess like what type of gathering would you prefer? Do you prefer to have an exact number of people, know exactly who's coming and have the yay or nay? Or like, is it an event that's more open and people can come and go? But I guess it could also depend.
I think it would also depend. The type A side of me loves an RSVP. I want to know, are you coming or are you not? Either way, still love you. But I haven't done as many like the doors open, come on in. I would love to be easy breezy like that. So maybe in the future I'll have to try that out. But for most events that I've hosted, I've had an RSVP. Not everyone will RSVP, and I'll sort of like hear through the grapevine or if they're coming or not. But for the most part, we typically have a pretty accurate head count as we get closer
Okay.
to the event.
I think that for certain events, like our workshop, yes, an RSVP was crucial because we needed to know how many workbooks to make and, truly how much food to have or, how many seats to set up, things like that. Very intentional in that way. But then I think back to my parents hosting an open house and truly just having the door open and people come in and out as they please throughout the day. Invites are sent out so people know when it is and just know that from this time to this time, the door's open, come on in.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just all depends on, I guess, how you can get the whole event together. Like, yes, keeping the food supply up for the whole day, which sounds very, very daunting. My parents are a little bougie, so I'll put that out there.
I love that energy though. I love the idea and the energy of just like the door's open, like come on in. All are welcome. But it is a little, I feel a little more like tactically challenging as far as like being able to plan. If it's something that you do every year, like your parents did, then they have like an idea in their head. Maybe moving forward for like our Halloween party, now that we have, regulars and people who expect to come every year, maybe we'd make it more of like a open house. Like if you want to bring your friends, because that's also happened where we'll have people RSVP and they'll be like, but my sister's in town. Can I bring her as well? And of course it's like, yeah, go for it, So I could see in the future that becoming more of like a, if you want to stop by, but then you got to go, trick or treat with your kids, or you're just stopping by for a little bit, or, you have another party to go to, just come by for a couple hours. But I think for like a first time event, I want to know.
Yes. First time trying it, you need to tell me if you're coming or not. Is the vibe a little bit more casual? Is it like everybody's chilling? You did talk about the black tie situation that you had for New Year's, but what do you prefer? Like, do you like one better over the other? You just like to switch it up every now and then?
I like to switch it up because the event that we've been talking about potentially hosting, like either right before, not on New Year's Eve. I don't think we're going to do another on New Year's Eve party because it falls on like a Tuesday this year. But we were talking about like the weekend before or New Year's Day is also a good point because people are off of work. But we want to do like the complete opposite of what we did last year. We want like everyone to show up in like pajamas and like we want to like order Chinese food and just like be like very chill. So I like the versatility of it because I think I have both of those sides within me. Like I love being the girl, sipping a little drink, being very, I'm not mysterious at all, but just like sipping my little drink, being very classy. But then I also love like being very cozy and just like straight up chilling with my people. So I think I like a variety of different themes and aesthetics.
Same. I don't think I'm bound to any type of party. But I do just like everybody to feel comfortable and cozy and welcome. I've never hosted a party to the point where there was a dress code. Maybe except by wedding brunch. But even that was still pretty chill.
I was gonna say that was pretty relaxed.
Yeah, I still made that pretty chill where I was like, I am getting married, so please look nice. But please don't go buy a new dress for this.
Well, I was stressing because I'm like, this is Niara's wedding and she is a fashion girl and I gotta look nice. And
you looked amazing that day.
My dress was from Nuuly. Surprise, surprise.
You looked amazing. Nuuly is now part of my rotation. So.
I saw. Oh my gosh. We're gonna have to do a whole episode about like outfit planning and maybe we can talk about like renting clothing and things. But I'm excited to hear about your Nuuly experience because the sweater you were wearing the other day looked gorgeous.
Thank you. Yeah, I just bit the bullet and was like, you know what? The economy's getting rough. Buying new clothes buying new clothes is a little much for me. But yes, I get to experiment, see things in my body, understand what looks good, try different colors. That's really what I'm excited about. I'm usually a very neutral girl. I even put on like a blue top today. Like I'm just trying new things. Like I just am embracing my body for what it is, experimenting with my skin tone, and Newly is helping me step into that.
That's
Um,
beautiful. And I think that sort of can tie in with parties as well and like dress codes and things. Cause like
yeah,
I love renting a cute little outfit if there is a dress code for like a party or something. I feel like that's a nice little hack to try out something new. Um,
yeah,
if you do have like a dress code of an event to go to, renting clothing comes in clutch.
absolutely. I think that um yeah, especially when you like just truly don't know what to wear. And yeah, buying a new piece of clothing can run you 150, $200, especially if you're trying to buy like a really nice coat to go out because it's the winter time, or a really pretty dress because it's a little more formal or whatever. Or maybe you haven't been invited to a party in a while and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna step out. Okay. Let me show them what I can really do. Let me put it on. Okay. So then you rent something, you're like, no, this is a little out of my comfort zone, but I'm trying something,
Yes. Mhm.
That's when renting I feel like really could come in handy. That's what I'm really excited to get into.
So I
Invite
think
me
you
to
started at the perfect time.
invite me to a party, y'all. I'm ready to go.
We're ready.
Oop. But yeah, so I think that yeah, that's so crazy. We didn't even have that in the notes, but like going to a party and being able to, maybe show off a little bit, wear something. There's not always a dress code, but like going to a party can really help you like curate your image almost in a different way for that evening or for that event.
Yeah,
You
you
know what
could
I
put
mean?
on a different character, for the night.
Yes.
And I think that also goes along with the different themes or personalities of the event. It's so
Hmm.
fun. I mean, maybe that's why we love our Halloween party so much. It's just so fun to like transform for the night, transform your space, transform your outfit, um, customize your character, as they say, and
Yes.
just try something new, switch up the routine. It's all coming full circle. It's inspiring, it's refreshing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that also going to the event, not also just being the host, but being the attendee, brings you out of your comfort zone as well because you're going to meet new people. It's a whole different environment for you to be around. And I think parties make us be social in a way that is um, kind of fading a little nowadays because people are just so used to, I'll just hop on a Zoom call, you're sitting at a computer, like whatever, or, just calling the phone or just texting or just scrolling. But the interaction, like, it sparks something new almost in your personality, makes you realize like, oh, I didn't realize about this kind of music. Like, what's this playlist? Like, what's happening? I've never heard this before. I've never met this kind of person before. They do such cool things, or I have so much in common with this person now. I never would have met them if I didn't come here, or like it could really spark something new in you and inspire you to do more even once you leave you feeling motivated once you left, or a whole new friendship could have sparked out of it. You know what I mean?
I love that. Yeah, and it's harder and harder for those connections to come about authentically, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
And I think us intentionally creating those spaces where it's a safe environment, it's a happy environment for everyone to do that is really valuable. And being able to curate that for people just brings a little more light and joy into everyone's life, which everyone always needs.
Yeah. And it's creating and curating community,
Yes.
whether it's with your friends and family or whether it's bringing in new people. I think what's beautiful about the different events that we host is our workshop brought together women that probably would have never met each other. You know what I mean? Like, what other circumstance would have brought them together to create friendships or open themselves up, be vulnerable to people and things like that? Two of the ladies actually from the event, became friends after. They
I
both
love
have
that.
they both have kids, and they've like gone out to eat. They like follow each other on social and things. I'm like, when I heard that, I almost burst out in tears.
Absolutely.
That was incredible. And then there's moments to just bring your friends that you already have closer together, like the Galentine's thing that I hosted. Like, we're all friends already, but I'm like, we all haven't seen each other in a while. We just gotta see each other. Or when you host your Halloween parties, it's like everybody also expects it. It's like almost a highlight of their year. They're like, I can't wait to see who's wearing what, or what food somebody's bringing, or whatever.
Yeah. I love how we said we weren't going to get deep. And then we're like, it means so much more. You know us. We always got to, make it about this is the meaning of life. But it's a beautiful thing.
It really is. Bringing people together is such a beautiful thing. And to be able to host people, I think also like makes you, we're getting deep now, I guess.
We're just so passionate about it, you guys.
Really passionate, because like creating community is all of our responsibility. And sometimes it's just like it's really hard for you to step out of your comfort zone and welcome people into a space or bring people together. The more you like step into yourself, the more you can understand how to bring people together. And I think that really showed with the event we had for Plan With Us, because I had to do a lot of like self-reflection for myself to be like, oh, my space is too small. Buying food is too expensive. Who's even going to come to this thing? It's January. It's cold. Like, nobody feels like doing this, blah, blah, blah. And I had all the reasons to say, like, I shouldn't do it. And I shouldn't bring people together for this. But I think it just took like, no, like, people need this. And this is a time where it's cold. People are lonely. This is a time where people feel like they have to reinvent themselves because it's January. But why do you have to do it alone? Why don't we come together and figure out how to do it together? And I think that one opened up something in me of what could be possible when it comes to hosting and building community. But two, just really even just furthering more friendships and creating more friendships together. And I think that was just a really beautiful thing.
Yes, girl. We're getting snaps. And that event in particular, I know made a very deep impact for everyone who attended. And I think it's because there was so much thought and care put into every element, really creating that experience. And not every event needs to be that way. Like we said, there's versatility in what the purpose of the event is, and, the crowd and the energy that everyone brings. But I think that's a really beautiful thing, that it can vary so much. But with that event in particular, it was also very much unlike any other event I've ever created. But I think that was just such a beautiful thing about it. The versatility of life experiences. If you aren't learning something new, what are you doing? You got to grow and change as a person, and those experiences help you to do that.
Exactly. And going back to what we said, which is our why, and my why specifically being when I host is to create an experience, which is why I think I think about like all these little things. Because when people come into whatever environment I'm opening up in this moment, like, I just want you to like feel something. And I felt like that event left everybody really feeling whatever they were feeling, but you left feeling something. And I feel like that made it really special. Yeah, for sure.
Very, very special. And we want to host more. Yeah. I think that is our vibe when we come together.
I guess with the end of the year rolling up, is there anything that you're planning or anything that you're going to that you're excited? Any events that are coming up?
Ooh.
I know you just came back from a vacation, so are you really thinking about planning anything right now? Probably not.
Well, I was mentioning like the New Year's situation. I don't know. We'll see. Yes, I don't have any super specific plans so far. I'm sure as we get closer, more and more plans will pop up. But I think this year we're going to keep it a little more low key. I say that now, guys. it may spiral out of control, but as of right now, I foresee it being kind of chill, and maybe going to some other people's parties, seeing what some other people are doing with hostings. I also love being a good guest. I was talking to some coworkers about that the other day, because we were talking a little bit about hosting and Someone was like, Jess, you sound like you're a really good guest. I'm like, yes, I am. Thank you very much. I always, bring something to the function. I always have, a good attitude. I'm ready to talk to people. And I'm always helping and very polite and just, yeah, I love attending an event as well as hosting one. So I think that'll be my environment for the end of the year.
I don't have anything planned. Derek's birthday is the 21st.
Yes. December babies.
Yeah, you December babies be killing me. Okay. All right. Listen, it's already a bunch going on and you want to be born. Jeez Louise. Okay.
Oh, I just hit the microphone. What can we do?
Yeah, but Derek's turning 31. So just a small little celebrating of that, just the two of us. Christmas time. We don't have anything planned for New Year's, but if you plan on throwing a little something, let me know.
I'll let you know.
We do potentially have something in the works for Plan With Us, which you guys will hopefully hear about soon, depending on what goes down. That will be something similar to what we did last year. So that is very exciting. And then after that, I'll be celebrating my first ever wedding anniversary.
Yeah.
In February. So that's also something we're thinking about, of like booking a cute place to go and celebrate and stuff like that. I've never celebrated a wedding anniversary before, so this will be very exciting.
You definitely should, book a little place and go.
Mm-hmm.
By the time this episode comes out, I do think the details of our January event will be out there. Mm-hmm. So go check our socials,
mm-hmm.
see what's going on.
Yes.
But the topic of this episode is very timely for things that Niara and I have been talking about in our live offline, the podcast.
I'm so excited. I won't spoil anything right now. Follow us on social so you'll see. I'm very excited about it. Follow us on social so you guys can be updated and know what's happening and you guys can attend. But we're very excited for what's in store with the Plan With Us pod and the things that we have going on. And we're just really happy to have you guys along with us.
And then next episode, you're going to want to tune in as well.
You're going to want to tune in. The next episode is going to be so good.
I'm so excited. The next episode, we want to become a yearly tradition. So we're just going to put that out there. If you were expecting an episode from us about sort of like planning goals for the new year, we aren't going to be doing exactly that, but you will be getting a lot of inspiration for goals in the new year. There will be laughter. There may be tears. There will be a lot of us reminiscing and laughing. And it's just going to be a really wonderful camaraderie of a time. So be sure to, if you haven't tuned into any of our other episodes, be sure to tune into the next one.
This one's going to be real special. But until then, thank you so much for joining us. This is the Plan With Us pod. We love you guys. Thank you so much for your support. Be sure to follow us on all of our socials. Instagram at Plan With Us pod. TikTok at Plan With Us pod. That's it right now.
We're on YouTube.
Oh, YouTube. Excuse
Plan
me.
With Us pod. If you're watching on video, be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell. I also just started posting shorts on YouTube if you are a YouTube Shorts girl. So we're all over the place.
We're everywhere. Leave us a comment.
You can't get rid of us.
No, you cannot. Pretty soon, maybe we'll start sending you a newsletter so we'll be in your inbox too. We'll be everywhere. Oh. But leave us a comment, leave us a review, let us know how we're doing. Any topics maybe you guys want to hear in the new year, anything you're trying to plan, you want some tips and tricks on, we're open to it. But until then, bye guys.
Talk to you soon.